and Ika began watching WWE in January 2025 during the Royal Rumble. Ika is brand new to WWE, while Kenny is returning for the first time in over 20 years. They appreciate your patience as they learn everybody's names and finishers, as well as past events concerning the WWE brand and or characters. They promise they will learn it all in due time.
As the sun was setting on the first half of the Major League Baseball season and heading into the All-Star break on Sunday evening, the WWE weekend events were just getting warmed up, I would say, Nika.
Oh, I know. It was getting hot.
We had a little bit of a warm-up with Saturday night's main event, but the main course this past weekend, for sure, for me and for you, I think, without speaking for you, was the Evolution. It was great.
Hands down.
It delivered. The ending, always wow them in the end. Remember that, when it comes to writing?
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do with Evolution? They put on a great show, but they saved the best for the very last moment with Naomi cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Oh,
it was phenomenal.
I jumped up for joy in the room, and you can watch all of our reactions to that in our previous video, but now we need to turn the page to Monday Night Raw, where we had to deal with all the fallout from Saturday night's main event and Evolution. And it was a huge night. Of course, the Seth Rollins injury, I still feel like was hanging in the balance of a lot of discussion online about where WWE is and goes from here, because as great as the women are, the men are the still main attraction of the show. And
Absolutely.
They get the billing of the show. And I'm not saying it's always going to be that way, but it is for now. And the Seth Rollins storyline was huge.
Absolutely.
And now with all this casting of doubt and uncertainty, where do we go from here? And, well, we got a pretty immediate response, I would say, from WWE. Whether planned or not, we will never know, Nika.
I know.
We will never know. But right on cue almost, here comes the OTC, the old tribal chief. And it's hard to get a bigger story in the world of wrestling right now than this.
I know. That takes the cake.
It does. I mean, even if it is a distraction for a second from the Seth Rollins injury situation, this was great to see. I mean, we've speculated here for a couple weeks now that he's got to be part of this SummerSlam lineup in some way. They put him on the damn poster. Like, I know that doesn't mean anything to some people, but it does mean something to me still. And until it happens to me, maybe 10 or 12 times where they get me, I'm not willing to go there yet.
But you're also coming from the world of movie making and make believe. Therefore, poster is part of it.
Absolutely. But nevertheless, when this music hit on Monday night, I think we were all excited. And, we're gonna talk about CM Punk and the whole gauntlet thing, but this was at the culmination of a gauntlet that chose who got to go and face Gunther at SummerSlam, and CM Punk was able to pull off the victory. However, Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed weren't going to stand for that, and Bron Breakker, I was convinced, was going to run this gauntlet.
He did an amazing job.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it, but I wanted to capture some of this, just as it happened. If you look ahead to the next image, we'll see the man himself making that long-awaited return, looking good, looking healthy, and looking motivated to cause some havoc. Now, we haven't seen him since WrestleMania, since the double cross, right?
Yes.
First, it was CM Punk and Roman Reigns who were crossed by both Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins in that match.
So it's very fitting how he shows up.
It is. It is fitting. And the only thing that wasn't fitting, I guess, was that Seth Rollins wasn't here, because he is the other try of that tricycle or that tripod, that three-legged rivalry right now.
Sure.
And it is interesting to see Roman Reigns come to bat. Like, he and CM Punk are the ones that got screwed over by the wise man. So anyways, yeah, this was much a long-awaited return and exciting. And look at this. Look at these reaction shots from both Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Like, this is why the WWE stars go into movies, folks. They sell it. And not to get into too much of a divergent here, but they only get one take. And when's the last time you saw somebody laugh out loud in the middle of a bit because they couldn't control themselves. Like, this happens on Saturday Night Live. And yet you never, ever can recall maybe a memory of when it's happened in wrestling the last time. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it just shows you, like, they got to put on some stone faces out there, and they do a great job. And Heyman was really selling it here. I have another shot of all three of them in the ring at once, and Heyman with his mouth agape. This is some funny stuff. But you can see both CM Punk and Jey Uso in the middle of the ring. Of course, CM Punk started getting the beat down, and Jey Uso came down to help his friends, as he always does, because that's what Gunther says he does. And Gunther, by the way, is watching all of this from the
Skybox.
The Skybox, and we'll talk about that in the gauntlet itself. But yeah, here we go. Great acting by this trio, minus Seth Rollins. They still are selling their evilness, their evil empire, and
it was a great performance. It really was. It delivered, and it turned surprise at the end.
It turned that frown upside down. You know,
did.
It really lifted the hangover of the Seth Rollins injury. It did, and now we can feel excitement again, I think, for SummerSlam and what's to come. And is it going to be a tag team matchup with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker? I've heard that is a possibility. But there he is in the middle of the ring, rocking those Nikes. Those are actually some Deion Sanders shoes, I believe. Please don't quote me on that, but they look very reminiscent of when I was a kid, the Deion Sanders model Nike. Like, he had his own shoe, just like Jordan and just like Griffey did. And the Deons were a popular because it wasn't everyone's first choice. But then once you got them, then you could kind of like own them over the other kids. And if another kid got those shoes, it was like they were copying you. So they were a good shoe to kind of have in the back pocket as like, I can be a trendsetter at school with the Deons.
Because you couldn't afford the Jordans?
Well, because everyone wants... Well, I don't know if they were much cheaper, to be honest. Okay. You know, like... I don't know if the price had anything to do with it. I think it was more about, like... It was like having a starter jacket of a different team than any other kid, and that made you unique. And
trendsetter.
Of course.
Kids always got to be different.
Either way, those are some great shoe choices there by Roman Reigns for this comeback. Anyways, OTC is back. Nika, any parting thoughts on his return?
Finally, we got to see OTC.
He must have a sweet contract.
He does. Really does. I know he was filming a movie, the Fight Club?
Oh.
No, not Fight Club. The Street Fight. I don't even.
Street Fighter, yeah.
Street Fighter,
actually,
yes.
We did know he's in there. And I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, he was filming that.
When you talk about video game adaptations,
perfect.
WWE characters should jump to the front of your mind, whether you're making anything. Yeah. I mean, who better to play God of War than like Roman Reigns or something? Somebody with some stature. Great return here. And Raw, of course, you can see CM Punk laying down, holding his midsection in that picture. Of course, he took some tsunamis after the win, though. This was a big win for CM Punk. And let's go back to how it started here. We had a 5-man gauntlet match on Raw. It was Penta, Bron Breakker, LA Knight, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, one at a time, one-on-one, until there was one man standing, basically. And, I guess they draw straws to figure out the order. And Penta and Bron Breakker were the first match. And as we mentioned earlier, Bron Breakker nearly ran the gauntlet here. He went through Penta, LA Knight, and Jey Uso, all three of them. And I looked at you and I was like, he's going to win this thing.
He did. He was dismantling every opponent.
Meanwhile, Gunther is upstairs in the skybox, like watching all of this because he's going to face the winner of this matchup. And just a little interaction here. He got into it with Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker a little bit before the matchup, before he made his way to the luxurious skybox accommodations here in Alabama. And you can see him hold. I gotta admit, the world heavyweight title does look pretty damn good on Gunther.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a contrast of the dark suits but the gold really pops. But CM Punk did finally make his way down as the last challenger of Bron Breakker here in this gauntlet. And as we mentioned, it was match number 4 for Bron Breakker, basically in a row. And he did not survive. CM Punk was able to get the win here after he landed that, I don't even know the name of it, but it's sort of an inverted suplex where he drops his knee on the guy's forehead on the way down. And anyways, he's able to pin Bron Breakker here in the closing moments of Raw before all the theatricality with OTC and all that. It was a big victory for CM Punk.
That it was.
And let's fast forward now past all of that ending theatrics and look ahead to SummerSlam. Nika, we finally will get to see Gunther and CM Punk one-on-one on television. Apparently, they've wrestled each other in dark matches, and if you don't know what a dark match is, really quickly, it's just when there's a match that happens at a live event, but that's not televised. So the audience can react. These are in different towns as the traveling circus rolls on, and they need to stay sharp. It's like baseball in a way. You got to keep doing it like almost daily to stay sharp with it.
It's like minor leaguers, constantly traveling.
And they're paid a little bit better than that, though.
Sure.
But yeah, are you excited about this matchup, Nika?
Definitely. Do you think it's going to be a straight, nice, clean match, or will there be some shenanigans going on? Somebody will interfere, or are we going to see Seth coming in and cashing in his suitcase?
I don't know. I want to wait before I get into any of those crazy kind of theories because I haven't decided how I feel about the Seth Rollins situation yet. And just to quickly address the elephant in the room, because there's lots happening, that there is basically a theory that's going around that the whole injury against LA Knight on Saturday night's main event was a work. And I don't know. I hate to see something like that maybe fester, but then again, do I? I don't know. I like being kept on my toes with it and guessing, and I feel like they kind of constantly have to keep pushing the envelope, moving the goalposts, so you can
keep it interesting. People
keep guessing. And I'll also say the line between reality and what is fake has been getting blurred a lot in my view, and I won't lie, it has added to the appeal of the product for me. Because it makes it juicy.
Of course.
But this matchup, I'm excited for it. I would expect this to be one of the headlining matches of one of the 2 nights.
Yeah,
possibly
it is 2 nights.
Even if I'll say this, if this is the headlining match for all of SummerSlam, on Sunday night, the 2 nights, I will say maybe there's going to be some shady shenanigans that go down at the end of it. It does play into, like, if it's the end. We had speculated all weekend, by contrast, that Tiffany and Trish were going to be the final match at Evolution, and then lo and behold, they were not.
Yeah, they weren't.
What was last? The last match was where there was the juicy drama with Naomi. Imagine if that had happened in the middle of the show. It wouldn't be the last thing you're left with.
Right.
And then it would have ended on this kind of like, oh, it was just Trish and Tiffy having a regular match. So keep that in mind as this schedule kind of comes out and starts to unfold. I don't think we ever know really what the order of the matches are. But once we do know, it might give away a little bit of the storyline or the gig. So
you think the matches fall into the order of importance?
Well, I feel like, yes, there's not always, like it's not going to go in like from worst to best.
Okay.
It's not going to go that way because like we've talked about, like in Riyadh and in Saturday night's main event, even you need those like consistent, steady performers like Randy Orton, like Cody Rhodes to get the crowd going, knowing how to work a crowd, knowing how to get them pumped up in the opening match.
Yes.
And so you need that. You need a strong opening act. It's like a band needing to go out. They can't just play like a deep cut as they open the show, you want to get the crowd into it singing along. So you want to play something that they kind of know.
Okay.
That's all. It's not like a best to worst or worst to best scenario. All right. Well, moving on from this match, let's talk about her. Naomi, the new women's world champion. And boy, oh boy, does that gold look good on her, Nika.
It does.
It goes right with that caution tape, right?
It really does.
I did not grab a shot of it, but you should know that you have about 24 more hours from the time we're recording this to go on tops.com and order your own Naomi card of her holding the belt and having a chance to get that Naomi 1-of-1 autograph. And by the way, it comes with a relic of caution tape used in this match.
Okay, it's just 1-of-1.
Just 1-of-1. So good luck if you decide to participate in that lottery from the Topps Corporation. I will not be partaking in this particular one, but I was tempted. I won't lie. I haven't bought one wrestling card, and I love Naomi. I was tempted. But Naomi did kick off the show on Raw on Monday night, and she announced her presence to the world after winning that championship gold. And she was not far along in this victory speech, I guess, when she was interrupted not once but twice. First by Rhea Ripley, who came down and was obviously upset. She had pinned Io Sky for like 3 times, a 10 count.
10 count when the ref was knocked
When the
out.
ref was knocked out. So it didn't count, of course, and the match went on. It, of course, spilled into the stands after that and became a kind of a free-for-all. And by the time they got back to the ring, they were both so exhausted from beating each other up in the stands that Naomi got this magic opportunity to come and cash in when no one was expecting her to, except for her, of course.
Of course.
And that was what she announced to the world, was basically that she put her eyes on Tiffy to distract from her true intentions. And just
Misdirect.
great villainry here. Great villainry. Well, Io Sky also joined the conversation, and before long, we got an announcement, Nika.
Oh?
Adam Pearce came out and interrupted these 3 ladies as they were arguing with each other and basically said that it's going to be official at SummerSlam. There's going to be a 3-way matchup between these 3 ladies standing in the ring for Naomi's new World Championship belt. And that's pretty exciting.
That's tough.
That is exciting. In all of the history between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and now Naomi will be like the 3rd wheel.
I know, but it's going to be interesting how this going to play out since Naomi just got the belt.
Well,
Is she going to retain it? I hope so, because we want her to reign a little bit longer than 3 weeks.
absolutely. This is going to be a huge matchup. I would not be surprised if this was somewhere near the climactic moments of one of the nights, because
It might be.
obviously it's one of the 2 prized women's belts, Tiffany Stratton's WWE Women's Championship belt, the other one. But this is a big one. So when it comes to the big 4, it's the World Championship belts and it's the WWE belts, undisputed, John Cena's.
Definitely has some weight to it.
Absolutely. This is a huge matchup, and I hope Naomi retains as well. It would be a huge victory for her to beat these 2 and retain. Just to put her over, as like one of the elite stars. I mean, Rhea Ripley is as big as it gets in this industry for women, and Io Sky as well. So
Of course. But also Naomi as a heel, it would be great to have the championship belt under her reign for a little bit longer than 3 weeks.
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. So my early instinct is that I want Naomi to retain, obviously, and have a nice title run. And she's just so fun. And her X account, again, we've said it before, we'll say it again. If you're not following it,
You're missing out.
you are missing out on entertainment every day, multiple times. So do yourself a favor. It's at Trinity Fatu, and you can go and find all of her fun interactions with the public, shall we say, through social media. I'm excited for this matchup and cannot wait for SummerSlam to be here. But I'm not excited about the whole ticket, Nika, because we had this story that just will not go away. And for all the praise that I've heaped on the WWE writing, whoever is handling this situation, you need to rethink it because it's not landing here. And apparently from the comments we've been getting on social media, we're not the only ones that feel this way. There is a pretty strong disliking of this feud. And it started with Becky and Lyra the day after WrestleMania. And it was then dragged on through Money in the Bank. And it was then Bayley joined into the fray. And now it's back to being Lyra and Becky. This is the face of Bayley after losing 2 out of 3 bouts to,
Lyra.
To Lyra. Thank you. Bayley losing 2 out of 3 to Lyra. And again, it's like the same people working with each other week after week after week, whether it's on the mic or whether it's in the ring. It's been Becky, Lyra, and then Bayley added to it. And now Bayley's gone again. And it's just Becky and Lyra. Like, this makes no sense to me. What is happening? What is the direction? They're just wandering in like this self-eating snake or this revolving circle. Like it's just going in nowhere. They're moving in place.
Time to move on. It's like a hamster wheel. It goes nowhere. The belt just changes hands from the same people back and forth.
I mean, they work well together.
That's fine.
To the point that I just made a few minutes ago, Becky, Lyra, and Bayley opened the Evolution match and put on a really good show for everybody.
Absolutely.
But I want to see them interact with other people, both Lyra and Bayley as well. Like the three of them should not be equally stuck in this. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of other talent that's there ripe for the picking, in my opinion, to put these people into feuds with. Like, it just doesn't need to be this revolving circle. So I will wait and see where they're going with all of this, I guess. But it doesn't excite me that we're getting a third now matchup of Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria in what? 3 months. And oh, by the way, there was a fourth match that was a 3-way match.
Yes.
So it's going to be their 3rd/4th matchup literally since WrestleMania. And I think it's exhausted. I think we've already moved past it. And yet here we are. We're getting it again. So
I know
it does not.
It ran its course.
Unfortunately, do a lot for me. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the talent involved because, like I said, I hope I communicated that properly, that I thought they did a great job at Evolution, kicking it off, getting the crowd into it, and Becky scoring that win, just as I predicted. Like, Lyra and Bayley would cancel each other out, but okay, I'm done. I'm done with it. Like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, time to move on to different.
Yeah, and I'm just dreading
stories.
also. I'm dreading like 2 or 3 weeks of promos with Becky and Lyra arguing in the ring again when we just had that in May and June. Like, and I'm done with it. So I'm not excited about this matchup at all, unfortunately. And whoever is in charge of the writing behind this, like, we need to do better here. We need to move on. We need to figure out how to get people out of storylines also. And not just like be like, well, we got nothing else.
It's like an old sitcom that doesn't know how to end.
Good analogy, and I agree with you. So let us know what you think, though, in the comments below. Does this matchup do anything for you, or are you just past it all like Nika and I are? All right, well, Monday Night Raw, though, on the whole, probably one of the best episodes in a few weeks. I felt like they were kind of in this lull pattern between Saudi Arabia and the Saturday night's main event, Evolution event. You know, like there was this sort of holding pattern. And I think whether or not it was planned, again, with Seth's injury and OTC coming back, I'm glad they finished on a high note on Monday night because it let people get excited about the product. And that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about it.
The best thing out of the Monday Night Raw, it was the gauntlet.
The gauntlet was great.
It was,
but
one
the
of the
OTC
best.
coming back was
Right,
good,
right.
and the Naomi kickoff was good.
For
It had a
sure.
strong start and finish. So
Yes, 100%. I just think the gauntlet threw me off because I didn't know what it was at first and how it worked.
Welcome to your first gauntlet.
Yeah, I guess so.
You survived.
I mean, I play gauntlets in the video games, but this was a little different.
It is kind of like running the gauntlet in the video game where you know by definition what it means. You're going to go to station to station to station. And
here you went opponent to opponent.
Exactly. All right. Well,
welcome back OTC, though.
Welcome back OTC, and welcome back to any of our listeners who made it to the end. Please do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and watch another video if you want.
All right. Thank you.